Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. Who do you think will win in a battle between Darkseid and Galactus? Darkseid is one of the most powerful entities in the DC universe, possessing superhuman strength, durability, and intelligence. His mastery of the Omega effect allows him to fire Omega beams that can disintegrate or teleport opponents. He also has vast telepathic abilities and can manipulate matter. Darkseid seeks conquest and control, often aiming to find the anti-life equation, which would allow him to rule over all sentient life. Galactus, known as the Devourer of Worlds, possesses immense cosmic power. He can manipulate energy on a cosmic scale, create and destroy planets, and has a nearly limitless supply of energy. His power is often channeled through his heralds, such as the Silver Surfer. Galactus's main motive is to consume planets to sustain his life, acting as a force of nature rather than a traditional villain. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button, please remember to turn on notifications, and click the bell icon. Thank you very much. Darkseid is one of the most powerful and brutal entities in the DC universe, known as the Supreme Lord who rules the planet Apokolips. He is not only an invincible warrior with absolute power and limitless desire for domination. With his giant body and strength, Darkseid can easily lift giant blocks of matter and crush any enemy who dares to stand in his way. As a brutal warrior, he is the embodiment of destruction, born to rule the universe through fear and despair. One of Darkseid's most terrifying abilities is the Omega Beam. Energy beams emitted from his eyes with the ability to be almost impossible to dodge. These energy blasts can cause a target to disintegrate completely, be erased from existence, or be transported to another dimension in an instant. He can use them to regenerate or restore life to an individual if it serves his purposes. The path of these energy blasts is unpredictable, as they can change direction instantly in mid-air. Darkseid also possesses a superior intellect and powerful telepathic abilities, allowing him to enter the minds of others, control their thoughts, and even bend the wills of the most powerful individuals. His mind manipulation abilities are feared by even seasoned strategists. As a new god, he is unaffected by time, does not age, and is virtually immortal. He has existed throughout the ages, witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, and is constantly seeking to expand his influence. Darkseid's presence is not only a sign of death, but also a sign of the collapse of all hope. He fights not only with his fists, but with fear and total control, driving all who face him into despair. Darkseid is not simply a being with the power to be the absolute ruler of Apokolips, a warring planet where violence and fear rule. With his supreme power, he controls the entire army and vast resources, controlling millions of loyal parademons who are trained to carry out his orders and sow destruction on every world he conquers. Under Darkseid's leadership, Apokolips has become a giant war machine, operating tirelessly for the sole purpose of extending his control over the entire sentient universe. Darkseid's greatest ambition is to possess the anti-life equation, an equation that exists on a conceptual level, allowing its wielder to erase the free will of every individual in the universe. With it, Darkseid rules not only through physical power, but also through absolute control over the mind and soul. Darkseid has faced off against the Anti-Monitor, one of the most powerful entities in the DC universe. In that confrontation, Darkseid proved to be no slouch, even inflicting serious injuries, leaving the Anti-Monitor dazed and bleeding. When enhanced by absorbing energy from Earth 3, he became even more terrifying. Notably, the Anti-Monitor is a sixth-dimensional being, far beyond normal limits, making the fact that Darkseid was able to fight him on par with him a clear testament to his cosmic power. This also puts Darkseid on par or above many other mystical entities such as Misty Mizes are not only a means of destruction, but also a manifestation of his ultimate authority. When Superman used his powerful heat vision, Darkseid's resurrected Omega beams nullified the attack, dimming the light and blocking Superman's vision. Furthermore, he has shown extraordinary defensive capabilities against the entire Justice League, even when they were in their god-leveled state. Combined attacks from Earth's mightiest heroes were unable to shake Darkseid, affirming his status as a force beyond the limits of the greatest legend. In one confrontation with Darkseid, he caused Spectre to scream in pain. Although Spectre is the symbol of divine justice and is known for his ability to destroy the multiverse, in his spirit fire form, Darkseid reaches a level that surpasses even the Source, a supreme force that is considered the source of all things. Although the Source is said to be on par with the Overvoid, a concept that represents infinity and ultimate order. Even at a young age, Darkseid has possessed terrifying potential. In a confrontation with Zeus, the great thunder god of Olympus, he not only endured the attacks but also injured the god. Even Grail, his daughter and much weaker than Darkseid, was able to break the sacred bracelet of Wonder Woman, a legendary Amazon warrior and symbol of strength, courage, and justice. During the Final Crisis event, Darkseid used the Omega Beam to completely disintegrate Batman, turning him into ash in an instant. This is especially remarkable since Batman had previously injured the Spectre with a kick, a rare feat for a mortal. Yet Darkseid can erase his existence with a single move. Darkseid's overwhelming power can defeat Eschaton with just one shot. The combined entity of all Eschaton, who were created to maintain balance and destroy the greatest threats in the universe. Darkseid has super strength that makes it difficult for Superman to keep up. In fact, he once knocked Superman out with a single punch with almost no effort. Another of his powers is the ability to teleport objects. He can lift objects and create force fields to block him from attacks. Darkseid can also change his size during battles, as well as teleport himself or others at will. He has a lot of powers, and as I said before, I only listed the powers that I think make him one of the most powerful beings in the universe. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. Galactus is one of the most powerful and fearsome entities in the Marvel Universe. Destruction is born from the ruins of the previous universe. With a giant body and great cosmic aura, his appearance always carries a premonition of destruction and restructuring. Galactus is not simply the one who destroys planets to maintain existence, but also the necessary balancing factor in the life and death cycle of the universe. His power far exceeds many ancient entities, including the Celestials and the Watchers, who can only observe but are not strong enough to intervene when he acts. Although the Watchers are considered wise and ancient entities, they are often on the same or lower level than the Celestials, while Galactus is completely superior. However, compared to the Beyonders, entities that exist outside the order of the universe, Galactus is small, like a faint speck of light in the endless ocean. However, when he reaches his full power, he becomes equal to eternity, the entity that embodies all of existence and thus stands alongside infinity and death. The balance between these three entities is the pillar that maintains the cosmic order, and Galactus is the only catalyst that can maintain the balance between creation and destruction. Death once admitted that Galactus' role in the universe is more important than hers, which further confirms that Galactus' existence is not accidental or simple, but is destined as an irreplaceable part of the structure. He is not just a destroyer, but an essential part of the cosmic cycle. In particular, Galactus is one of the very few entities allowed to directly appear before the Council of the Living, a cosmic council consisting of supreme beings such as Eternity, Master Order, Lord Chaos, and the Living Tribunal. The fact that he is summoned before these forces shows his preeminent position in the super cosmic order. Galactus cannot be defined as a pure villain. He does not act out of hatred or a desire to dominate, but out of a primal and inevitable need. He is a cyclical destruction, programmed to maintain the stability of all that exists. Each planet he devours is not only an end, but also a precondition for continued balance. Galactus is normal, causing the In-Betweener to stagnate. The same In-Betweener also forced Strange with the power of eternity to enlist the help of Lord Order and Master Chaos to fight him, and fought Scryer and the others, and their war threatened entire universes, including countless them. Galactus is the embodiment of a primal power from the beginning of the universe. In a battle with Odin, the supreme god of Asgard, Odin poured all the energy of the universe into a headbutt aimed at Galactus. However, as soon as the attack ended, Galactus immediately stood up completely calm, as if the attack had left no effect at all. Galactus once used a single strike to defeat a Celestial. While Celestials are known to be multiversal entities, in another battle, Galactus faced Mephisto to reclaim his loyal herald. This clash shook the entire galaxy, causing the surrounding space to shatter with each collision. Although Mephisto was a powerful entity that controlled an entire dimension, he was forced to surrender when Galactus absorbed his entire domain, robbing his opponent of his main source of power. Galactus' most famous herald, the Silver Surfer, once crashed into him along with a moon, creating a devastating collision. However, Galactus was not scratched. He even shows only slight confusion, not because he is injured, but because of the absurdity of such an action for a being like him. In one particular instance, when Abraxas, a threat of cosmic destruction, flies through Galactus' head, he is able to regenerate almost instantly. Without the need for miracles or outside assistance, Galactus simply cannot be destroyed in the usual way. When Galactus enters a black hole, instead of being consumed like all other matter, he destroys its structure from the inside. He warps and distorts in his presence. As noted by Reed Richards, Galactus has the ability to warp reality in ways that no physical law can control. Galactus is unaffected. He moves through time as if he were outside the cycle, unbound by the limits of existence. In a display of his absolute power, Galactus absorbed Dormammu, a being with the power to rule the dark dimension, and possess unparalleled magical power. Galactus can make a being completely forget himself, his history, his identity, and even his purpose in existence. He can adjust his body size at will, expanding himself to the size of a galaxy, filling the sky in a single movement. Galactus' ability to sense danger extends to the cosmic level. When the universe is in a state of instability or on the verge of collapse, he can sense these changes even as they begin to form at the quantum level. It is as if the universe and he are directly and inseparably linked. In a time when the hierarchy of cosmic power had not yet been clearly established, Galactus defeated both Lord Order and Master Chaos. These two entities are the embodiments of absolute order and chaos, representing the two fundamental forces that operate the balance of the universe. The fact that Galactus was able to overcome both at the same time shows the sheer overwhelming extent of his power. Although no one has ever witnessed Galactus in a fully satisfied state, even in his normal state when he has not yet reached his maximum limit, he has demonstrated power that is far superior to most other entities in the universe. We cannot determine exactly what his ultimate level is, because each time he consumes energy, we can only guess the tip of the iceberg of power. If an unsatisfied Galactus is enough to subdue the gods and shake the order of the universe, then what would a fully satisfied Galactus be like, perhaps only existing in the most secret place of the universe, where even the supreme entities dare not speak out? Only God knows. In a clash between two cosmic forces, Darkseid and Galactus faced off in a battle that shook the surrounding space in every dimension. When Darkseid unleashed his legendary Omega Beam, which had disintegrated even the most powerful entities, he was shocked to find that it was completely ineffective against Galactus. Not a single ray of light from his glowing red eyes could penetrate the cosmic energy that encased the world Devourer's massive body. No matter how powerful Darkseid may be, against a cosmic being like Galactus, he is still limited by the layer of reality he exists in. While Darkseid can be defeated if he is hit hard enough by powerful beings like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Orion, Galactus is a different story. While the Silver Surfer, Galactus' former herald, can match the power of these heroes, Galactus himself is far beyond anything they have ever reached. Even at their best, when the heroes are going all out, the best they can do is draw Galactus' attention to their attacks, and if they are extremely lucky, leave a few light scratches. Galactus, in a state of fullness and energy, fought the four ancient gods and killed one of them. On the contrary, in a state of hunger, Galactus went to Apocalypse with the goal of absorbing the life energy from this planet. In response, Darkseid did not directly confront him, but sent his minions to fight, at the same time unleashing the power of the planet's core to fight him. Finally, Darkseid was forced to use his ultimate weapon. However, all efforts were in vain. Those beams of absolutely destructive light touched Galactus without leaving a trace, like waves crashing on an ancient cliff without a single crack. Darkseid in his true form. Darkseid's true form, also known as True Form Darkseid, is rarely shown directly in any battle. His avatars have been defeated by powerful entities such as Superman, Wonder Woman, Orion, and sometimes superhero alliances, with his true form being weaker, but because Darkseid himself chose not to directly get involved. Trueform Darkseid exists outside of linear space and time, transcending all lower dimensions, and Darkseid's avatars have been defeated on various occasions. Galactus, in a well-fed and constantly energized state, confronts Trueform Darkseid, and the battle will become extremely complicated. Cyclical destruction, represented by Galactus, and absolute domination, represented by Darkseid. Galactus will certainly face more obstacles, because Trueform Darkseid is no longer bound by the laws of reality low. Yet Galactus continued to advance relentlessly, and with a single shot he struck Darkseid down with a blast of energy so powerful that it tore the planet's atmosphere apart. Meanwhile, the loyal and ruthless Silver Surfer finished off Darkseid's son Orion with a single fatal blow. Galactus' victory, however, was not complete. When he attempted to consume Apocalypse, he discovered a shocking truth. The planet contained no form of life energy that could nourish him. The dark, barren, war-torn landscape offered nothing suitable for Galactus' digestive cycle. Apocalypse, though a symbol of power and domination, was an energetically dead world, unable to satisfy his eternal hunger. And so, Galactus was forced to depart, leaving behind a desolate planet that even he could not digest. Hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Please follow me if you like that. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much.